This is Unit 8, Area and Solids. Preview video 8.2, Area of Regular and Irregular Shapes. Take a moment, sit tall. Ready? Inhale. Deep breath, hold. And exhale. Close your eyes. Ready? Inhale. Hold for 3. Exhale, 5. One more time. Ready? Inhale. Hold for 3. Exhale, 5. Ready, friends. You want to have colors and your preview notes handy. We're going to be talking about the area of regular and irregular shapes. So, area of regular and irregular shapes. Step number 1, take a moment and fill out this quad family tree. Pause the video. All right, welcome back. All of these should have started with area equals parallelogram base times height. Area equals diagonal times diagonal over 2, diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. Rectangle is also simply area equals base times height, the square. Area equals side squared, or you can also do diagonal 1 times diagonal 2 over 2. Trapezoid, area equals average the bases, base 1, base 2 over 2 times the height. Kite, diagonals are at right angles, area equals diagonal 1 times diagonal 2 over 2. Ready? You want to do this review problem on your own. Pause the video, then restart. Welcome back, students. You should have a red pen and you should be correcting here. It says that a rhombus, so step 1, we're drawing a rhombus. You should have drawn a rhombus. You can speed this up if you've done it. Rhombus has a side length of 5 feet, took care of that. The longer diagonal of a rhombus is 8 feet. Shorter diagonal, so 8 means this is 4 and 4 feet. Right angle in the middle. And we want to find the area of the rhombus. Well, we already learned that area is this one diagonal, which we already have, which is 8, times the other diagonal, which we don't have, over 2. So taking a close look here, we need a piece of this diagonal, right triangle, have 2 sides, need a 3rd side, tag, 4 squared, x squared, 5 squared, x is equal to the square root of 9. So you should have gotten here 3 and 3. So one diagonal is 8, the other diagonal is 6 over 2 and 24. Let's check for units. Don't forget units, feet squared. I'd like you to write a note here, and I'm going to be looking for this note. If you got it right, great. What was the one thing you're so proud you got correct? What are you proud you did correct? I am proud I did this correct. Or if you drop the ball somewhere, that's totally fine. Your sentence is, what do you want to remember? So you're either writing a little phrase, what are you really proud you got right? Or what are you going to remember? Taking a look here, remember when we did triangles? Triangles are half of a parallelogram. When you have a triangle, it's simply base times height over 2. So we have a picture of this triangle, that red altitude, also known as height here. In an acute triangle, it's all inside. But if you make the triangle obtuse, notice the height goes outside. And if you make the triangle right, the height is on the triangle edge. Just kind of keep that in mind when you're working with a triangle, that the height is inside in an acute, outside for obtuse, and on for a right triangle. And the area equation for all of these is base times height over 2, because it's half parallelogram. We're going to do a couple problems related to triangles. Ready? I'd like you to read aloud with me. Put your finger on the paper and read. The area of a right triangle is 6 centimeters squared. The longer leg is 4. Find the length of the hypotenuse. So let's draw. Number 1, it's a right triangle. We're given its area. The longer leg is 4. We want to find the hypotenuse here. Hypotenuse is going to be this right here. We can't use Pythagorean theorem because if you have 2 sides, need a third side, you pythag, but the problem is we don't even have 2 sides here. So you always start with what you have, not with what you want. Okay, we want the length of the hypotenuse, but we have the area. So you start with what you have. Area of a right triangle is going to be base times the height over 2. Why am I starting with that? Because that's what we have. Circle, plug, chug. My area is 6 centimeters squared. My base is 4. My height, careful, that's not hypo there. That means height of the triangle is that. We'll call it, I'm going to call that y for now, over 2. Cross multiply, solve. So we have here 12 equals 4y. But wait, there's more. I didn't ask you for the height. I asked for the hypo. Now, if you have 2 sides, need a third side, pythag. X equals 5. Watch out for units. cm, because it's 1 dimension. This you're going to do on your own. Pause the video. Restart when you're done. Welcome back. It says area of an obtuse triangle. So the area equals 72 centimeters squared. Area of a triangle, base times height over 2. We circle, plug, chug. So our area goes right over here, 72 equals, what do we got rocking here? The height is 6. The base is unknown. So unknown times the height of 6 over 2. Cross multiply. 144 equals 6x. Divide by 6. And your base, you should have gotten, is 24, check units, centimeters. Again, one of 2 questions. Either you cite, I'm looking for this. What are you really proud that you did correct? If you did this correctly, what are you proud? Woohoo, celebrate, write me a little sentence. If you did something, if you misstepped something, that's totally fine. You write, what do you want to remember? What are you really proud you got correct, or what do you want to remember? The reason why we capped triangles is because triangles are related to what we call regular polygons. Let's recap what is a regular polygon. I'd like you to simply trace. Sweep. You to just take 10 seconds and write your own thought there. What do you think's going on there? Just write something down. Just an observation. It's okay to be wrong. 10 seconds. What you should have noticed, of course, is that a regular polygon has all congruent sides and angles. All congruent sides and angles. So everything we're going to do for the next 10 minutes only works with regular polygons. It doesn't work for non-regular polygons. So just to give you an example, a non-regular polygon would be something like a trapezoid. It does not have all equal sides or all equal angles. All right, so it only works for regular polygons. Regular polygons have some specialized names. Some of them are pretty simple to understand. One of them is kind of a new thing. So the center is, of course, right there, the center. Behold, the center. A radius would be the segment that connects the center to a corner. Center to a corner, that is a radius. Center to the corner. Center to corner. Center to corner is a radius, center to corner. And then connecting the center to the midpoint of a side is a segment we call the apothem. All right, so you got 3 parts of a regular polygon you need to be familiar with: the center, the radius, and the apothem. I'm going to use the phrase apothem and apothem interchangeably. They are equivalent. Kind of depends on whether you're East Coast versus West Coast. So once again, trace center to corner, radius. Trace and say that 3 times. Center, corner, radius. Center, corner, radius. Center, corner, radius. Now trace center, midpoint, apothem. Center, midpoint, apothem. Center, midpoint, apothem. I want you to find the perimeter of both these polygons. It's very important when you work with perimeter. When you work with perimeter, it is vital you always physically trace around. Physically trace around when you do perimeter. Perimeter, you always physically trace. So let's count. Count your sides and trace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can see this perimeter as 8 plus 8, and you go 8 times all the way around, or you can just do 8 times 8. So my perimeter is going to be 64. Check for units. We don't have units, so you just write units. Perimeter is only 1 dimension. It's only length. So you use singular units. Perimeter here, trace around, trace. I like to put the little tail on there. So that's 10.2 times 9. Oh, don't be reaching for that calculator, friends. Come on, you can do this longhand. 10.2 times 9. It's 18. Carry the 1, that's 0. That's 1, that's 9. There you go. And 1 decimal point. So 91.8 units. So as we work forward, perimeter, trace around, perimeter, trace around. Do not use your eyeballs for perimeter. Physically trace with your finger, add it up, or multiply by the sides. Okay, just to recap, a triangle is half a parallelogram. So a parallelogram is base times height. So a triangle is base times height over 2. Just a quick recap. A triangle is base times height over 2. You're going to need that. Area of a triangle is base times height over 2. Let's take a look here. Trying to show you where the equation comes from. Ready? Okay, here's a regular polygon. I want you to just draw from the center to the corner. Draw in all your radii. Just trace them all. Yes, they're already drawn in for you, but just trace them. Please trace them. I'm going to go over them in yellow. Trace, 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 trace. So all regular polygons can be sliced into triangles. Keep that in mind. All regular polygons can be sliced into triangles. Now, if I were to take the triangle there, right there, that base, I'd like you to trace with me. I'm going to go counterclockwise. Trace base. Trace the 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 base. Go back, trace all the bases. So the bases collectively of a regular polygon is the perimeter of the shape. Now, in this one triangle, trace the height. That has another name. I'm going to give you 5 seconds. In a regular polygon, we don't call that the height. We call it something else. Look on the previous page. Ready? 5 seconds. Try to figure it out. 5. This is the apothem. So what we're doing here is we're building towards the equation how to find area of a regular polygon. A regular polygon is just a collection of a bunch of triangles. That's the main concept here. It's just a collection of a bunch of triangles. But we're going to replace the word base with perimeter. We're going to replace the word height with apothem. So the area of a triangle is base times height over 2. For all regular polygons, it's going to be perimeter times apothem over 2. They're related. We replace the word base with perimeter, and height with apothem. Let's do a couple problems together. Said, find the area of the following regular polygons. You write your equation. Perimeter, trace it around. Circle, plug, chug. So circle perimeter. To get our perimeter, we're going to go 10.2 times, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is the perimeter. The apothem, center to midpoint, 14/2. Yes, you may use a calculator at this page, but you don't get to touch a calculator until you have all your plugins, which we do. So 10.2 times 9 equals times 14 equals divided by 2 equals 642.6. No units provided, so we just write the generic unit squared. Ta-da! That is how hard that's going to be. Ready? Put your finger right there. We're going to read it out loud. Finger, follow along, finger on the paper, out loud, read. Did you read that out loud? You were supposed to. Let's filter. We have a regular hexagon area, single side length, find the apothem. Start drawing. It's a hexagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's regular. They're all equal. Done with that, done with that. Area, 680.4 cm squared. Done with that. Single side length, 16.2. Done with that. Find the length of the apothem, which we don't know. Call it X. Ready? Write down your equation. Area equals perimeter times apothem over 2. Pa over 2. Area of a regular polygon is pa over 2. Now we circle, plug, chug. We have the area. Area is 680.4. Perimeter. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is 6 times 16.2 times our apothem, which is X over 2. Do not touch a calculator until your variable is by itself. So we're going to cross multiply. I'm going to go 680.4 times 2 equals 6 times 16.2 times X. You're like, Miss White, why didn't I multiply? Because the key to multiplying is not to multiply. It's to factor. So we're just going to divide this out. These cancel. I can factor this a little bit here. 2 goes into 6 3 times. Okay. Now you can go ahead and use a calculator. So we're going to go 680.4 And then we're going to divide by 3. And then divide again by 16.2. You just found your apothem, which is 14. Check units, centimeters. That is your apothem. We're going to do another problem together, and then I'm going to cut you loose to do a couple on your own. Ready? Finger right here. And out loud, read. Read out loud. I hope you did. We're going to find the area. It's regular. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we are given only one item here. Just this radius length. That's it. Notice the word exact terms. That means no decimals, no calculator. We want the area. So we're going to start by just writing the equation out. Area equals this perimeter, which we don't have. Perimeter times apothem. We don't have that either. Over 2. We're like, golly gee, we've got nothing that you need. But you don't start with what you want. You start with what you have. So let's ask ourselves a question here. Because of that apothem, shade this. Ooh, we have a right triangle. Right triangle. Let's see if we can do anything with that. Step number 1, I'd like you to draw, just trace all these radii. 1, 2, 3. Trace all the radii. Just physically trace it. Trace, 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 trace. There's 6 of them. Now, I'd like you to put your pencil right here on this dot and go like so, all the way around. Do it again. You're like, wait a minute. That's a circle. So that's 360. Now look what we got here. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 slices. Divided by 360. 360 divided by 6. Of course, that means every single slice here is 60 degrees. Which means if you look carefully, this yellow right triangle, see this squiggle here? That's 30. That's 90. Which means this out here is 60. We got ourselves a 30, 60, 90. Short leg root 3, short leg times 2. Now, if it didn't have a 60 and another kind of an angle, you could always use SOHCAHTOA. But since we have a 30, 60, 90, we have a shortcut. So there's our short leg. Short leg to the long leg, root 3, short leg to the hypo times by 2. So it reads like this. Something times 2 is 12 root 3. We're going to divide by 2. And we're going to get 6 root 3. Go here to the apothem. That's times another root 3. That's going to be 6 times 3. That means our apothem is going to be 18. But our full side length here, our full side length is 6 root 3 plus 6 root 3, 12 root 3. You have everything you need now. Everything you need. So step 1, perimeter. 12 root 3 times 6. 12 root 3 times 6. That's just the perimeter times your apothem, which is 18 over 2. Key to multiplying is not multiplying, it's factoring. So I'm going to factor where I can. I can take that 2 either into the 18, the 6, or the 12. It doesn't matter. I'm going to take it into the 18 and hack that down to 9. 9 times 6 is 54. And then 54 times 12, I'm going to do that using lattice. 4 times 1 is 4. 5 times 1 is 5. That's a 0 and a 5. That's a 0 and a 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 0 and 8. And 2 times 5 is 10. 1 is 0. So that's 8. That's a 4. And that's a 6. So I have here 648 root 3 is my area. Check for units. No units. So this is just units squared. You're going to do these two problems on your own and then restart the video when you're done to check your work. Alrighty, guys, check your work. If you're correct, big star smiley, woohoo, some sort of celebratory markings. If you took a misstep, simply write yourself a note in the margin. What do you want to remember next time? And we have a song. We have so many equations here. Let's just write this out super quick. I promise it'll go fast. Area of a rectangle, length times width. Length times width. And a parallelogram, base times height, base times height. A triangle, 1/2, base times height. A trap is height times mean. Mean is a short way of saying average, mean of bases. Base plus base over 2. It's kind of backwards the way we learned it, but it fits the song better. An area of a regular polygon is 1/2 perimeter times apothem, also known as Pa over 2. There's your apothem, perimeter. Okay. Now you can kind of hear there's a cadence already to it, and it's to the tune of a camp song. The ants go marching one by one. You should remember it. The ants go marching one by one. Hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching one by one. Hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching one by one. The little one stops to suck his thumb, and they all go marching down to the ground, out in the rain, or something like that. Boom, boom, boom. All right? Okay. You can do this. I'll slow it down. Ready? The area of a rectangle, length, width, and a parallelogram, base height, a triangle, 1/2 base height. The trap is height times mean of bases. An area of a regular polygon is 1/2 perimeter at the thumb. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, we'll sing that a couple times in class. Summarize today's lesson. Good job.